Hi everyone, welcome to GoWISE. My name's Hailey and today we're going to be making some Starbucks inspired recipes. The first one we're going to get started with is the spinach, tomato, and feta wrap, and we're also going to finish that with a matcha frap. So, step one, get your grill. This is our smokeless indoor grill. It comes with a griddle and a grill plate. You actually do have a water tray that you have to put some water in. The fan actually pulls all of the smoke out from the air and traps it into the water, so this is pretty important, especially if you're using something that's a little greasier. Put this carefully under here. I'm going to turn it on to about 4 just to get it preheated. And in the meantime, we'll prep our ingredients. So we're going to slice up tomato into about a 1/4 inch thick, and then we're going to cook our spinach down so it's a little wilted, along with some garlic, some lemon, some olive oil. So let me get started cutting. Alright, so our grill is hot. We're just going to spritz it real quick with some spray oil, just so the tomatoes don't stick. And then we're just going to lay them out on 1/2 of the grill. And on the other side, we're just gonna put our spinach. You might not be able to fit all of it at once, and that's okay. Once it starts to condense down a little bit, you can continue to add more. But once it gets nice and hot, drizzle a little bit of olive oil. So once the spinach is done, it's gonna be done faster than the tomatoes because they're much thinner. You're going to want to remove them and put them into another bowl so that they can start to cool a little bit. And then you can continue to cook the tomato until they're done. So once you start to see a little bit of curling around the edges of the tomatoes, that's when you're going to want to flip them. So about half of these are ready. Ooh, they got a nice little char. Then they're going to cook for another 2 to 3 minutes until that side of them is browned as well. So once these are completely well done on both sides, we're just going to move them into a separate bowl so then we can cook our egg whites. They do smell really good. We're going to do 6 eggs. We're just going to use the whites. Okay, so once we have our egg whites separated, we're just going to whisk them up a little bit. I should have gotten a bigger bowl. Didn't realize 6 egg whites was going to be so much. Give this another spray so the eggs don't stick. Turn it down to about medium-high. And get your spatula ready because the eggs are going to run all over the place, so you gotta trap them a little bit in the center. Start in the middle. And we're just going to scramble them like they're regular eggs. And we're just going to do some salt and pepper. And then we're ready to wrap it all up. But don't turn off your grill just yet because we are going to put them back on to kind of toast the outside of the wrap itself. If you plan on freezing these and saving them for another time, you don't have to do this step. But if you're eating them right away, it's gonna give a nice little crunch to the exterior of the wrap. So this will probably make 2 to 3. So I'm gonna do one at a time. And we'll start with a little bit of egg white. Then we'll do some spinach. And then we'll top it with some tomato. Give it a little bit of feta, or if you don't like feta, you can use cheddar cheese, American cheese, whatever type of cheese you like. But I think feta goes well with all the other Mediterranean flavors. We're gonna do a little squeeze of lemon juice, and then we wrap. So we're gonna fold the 2 sides inwards. The side towards you, you're gonna pinch it with your thumbs. Pinch tight, tuck it in like you're putting it to bed, and then roll it closed. So it's a little burrito. And then what you're gonna do from here is you're gonna re-grease your grill, and you're gonna put the seam side down. I'm just gonna let it cook like that for a little bit. Okay, so these are finally done. You can see on the bottom, the juice. They are finished. We're gonna put them on a plate. Turn this off. I'm just gonna move this out of the way for the next part, which is making a matcha frap. So these are our ingredients for the matcha frap, and we're using our high-performance streamlined blender. All you have to do is combine them all, blend it, and then it's ready to go. And it's probably gonna be about half or a third of the calories of a Starbucks frap. So keep that in mind. So we're putting in about 4 cups of ice. 1.5 cups of whole milk, almond milk, regular milk, 2% skim, whichever one you like, doesn't matter. Whichever your preference is. We have 2 tablespoons of sweetened condensed milk. 1 tablespoon of matcha powder. And a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Lid it. I'm just gonna turn it on. I'm gonna do pulse for a smoothie to start, and then I'll switch it over to slow speed. Okay, perfect consistency. It's not as green as I thought it would be. If you're a huge fan of matcha, I guess you could probably add another tablespoon or 2 to make it a little more green. Okay, so now we're gonna do a comparison of ours versus Starbucks. I'm gonna start with Starbucks. I'm gonna cut open their spinach feta wrap. So theirs definitely has a little bit more spinach. Theirs is an egg white patty, and the bread isn't whole wheat wrap. It's more like a naan kind of bread, but it doesn't look too bad. Tastes like a wrap, like a Starbucks wrap, but I think ours is gonna be good. Here's ours: fresh egg, fresh spinach, fresh tomato with feta. You can visibly see the different layers. Give it a go. So this one is definitely fresher. This one has a lot more salt. You can definitely taste the salt content in this one, which is understandable because it's gonna sit out on a shelf all day, so I get it. I think ours is a little better, healthier tasting, fresher. As for the matchas, okay, they're very sweet, very sugary. This straw sucks. Ours is much creamier and less sweet. It doesn't have as much of the matcha flavor, but I think if we added 1 or 2 more tablespoons of matcha to this, it would probably be a little more powerful tasting. Price difference though is for these 2, it was about $13. We had it shipped here, so there was a little bit of extra tax on that, so maybe like 10 or 12. For the same price, I could have gotten a ton of tomatoes, a ton of spinach, 18 eggs, wraps. So healthier, cheaper, more expensive, convenient, but not as healthy. Thank you for joining me. I'm gonna finish mine, and guys, if you want this, you can have this. It's all yours. Don't love it.